What's up, guys? Beckham is here, and I was talking to the writing department, the people who, the people, and I was talking to some people, and they're like, Beckham is, you should review the Powerpuff Girls movie. I know this movie was directed by Craig McCracken, the original writer of Powerpuff Girls, but, and you probably will be asking yourself today, Beckham is, shouldn't you review the show from 1998? Before you watch the movie? I know, see? Sure. But I don't want to do it in chronological order. I want to watch the show, watch the movie, then review the show. So today we will be reviewing da 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 the Powerpuff Girls movie. So yeah. So I really does this movie live up to the hype, or should have it been left on the moon? Should have been left in Townsville. Let's see with the Powerpuff Girls movie. Okay, so this movie starts off with the narrator saying, in the city of Townsville, where crime flourishes, but there is only one man who will stand up to these criminals. His name is Daredevil. It does not actually say that. It says there is one man who will stand up to this crime. It is Batman. Actually, no. He actually does Professor Utonium. And Professor Utonium has bought sugar, spice, and everything nice. And with his crazy lab assistant, monkey assistant, he will be creating the perfect little girls, everyone. Yeah, he'll be creating the perfect little girls, everyone. And as he's about to do it, he puts in sugar, spice, and everything nice. But his monkey accidentally adds a secret ingredient, accidental ingredient to the concoction, Chemical X. And thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born and blossomed. And the Powerpuff Girls were born, and the Professor Utonium goes near them and is like, "Hey, you will be blonde." He's like, "Hey, what's your name?" And she's like, and the Powerpuff Girl, I'm gonna say the pink Powerpuff Girl is like, "Hey, you named us, you created us. Why don't you name us?" And he's like, "You're Blossom, and since you're bubbly, you'll be his little bubble. And since your name is Buttercup, because it also begins with a B." And yeah, it's like named Carl. Well, anyway, yeah. And then we see from the accident, Professor's assistant has grown a big, huge brain and has been turned into a green animal, who we will call Jojo. Not Jojo Bizarre. Well, his adventure is bizarre, but anyway. Yeah, so the Powerpuff Girl, the Professor Utonium is like, "Gifts. It's your birthday, so I better get you gifts." Yeah, because this professor is the best. Not like awful reboot professor who doesn't care about his own children and rather put the whole world in jeopardy. This professor cared about them and would save and built them to save the world. Yeah. And bought gifts. He even buys Bubbles Octi, which we all know the reboot ruined, but never mind that. This is the original movie, not the reboot. Not a discussion on how trash the reboot of the movie, the reboot of the original show is. So he invites them to school. He puts them in school. He puts them in Miss Keen's classroom, where Professor's just sitting there. He doesn't, leave. He's just, stands there with Miss Keen. I guess, well, tag's going on. And since the girls are, newly made, they don't know what tag is. So the kids have to, and basically they, overthink it and break the entire town. They even break they even break Mayor's, like, break Mayor's, break the Mayor, who's played by Tom Kenny, and Sarah Bellum, who, I don't know who plays Sarah Bellum, I probably forget, but anyway. They're like, on, like, they're, doing their thing. Mayor is still buying pickles because he's mayor, and he always buys pickles. So he's out there buying pickles, and the girls, and the girls, the professor gets arrested by the police, and the girls think the professor banned them, so they walk this empty street, boulevard of broken dreams. Dude, never mind that. Just, they walk this empty street, 'cause it's an empty street, with sad faces, they don't know professor's arrested. Do, 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 do. They don't know professor's arrested. Do, do, do. So then they get out of JoJo, who says, hey, you guys, they think you're freaks. They don't think he's a freak. So let's team up to help them. And they'll totally forget about you destroying their city business. And they're like, yay, let's help the world. And yeah. But there are nefarious purposes with this JoJo. And yeah. So the girls help him, build, a big contraption. They even get in a volcano to melt something, and they even steal monkeys, which JoJo is like, and the girls are like happy though. They're like, Professor, you have to come with us. There's a big thing going on. And then JoJo's like, JoJo's like, I'm a villain now. I'm bad guy. I have an army of monkeys. I'm like, it makes their brains all grow big. And they're like, and he's like, go attack Townsville, you monkeys. And the girls are like, JoJo, this isn't what you said. This isn't bringing happiness to the town. And he's like, it's bringing happiness to me. And he's like, my name is no longer JoJo. I discard that name for Mojo Jojo. Just like in the original show. So yeah, so Mojo, which he'll be called, is like, he flings the Powerpuff Girls all the way out of the city. He's like, yeah, and the Powerpuff Girls land on a moon, and they're like, this is gonna be our place now. This is gonna be my bed, Bubbles, and he's like, this is where I'll sleep. And Bubbles is like, I don't want to live on a rock, and yeah, basically, and Blossom, she's like, Blossom is is like, trying to figure out what to do. So they figure out what to do. They go back. They stop Mojo. They try to save the talking dog, which we don't know the talking dog, but we figure out. And they stop Mojo, but Mojo kidnapped Professor, even though I thought he was his lab assistant. So wouldn't he remember the Professor? I guess. He thanks Professor. He's like, "You're coming with me, Mr. Utonium." He doesn't say that, but the girls are shocked to discover, and he's like, yeah. So Mojo turns into this gigantic, big creature. And he's like, as I was saying, I am Mojo Jojo, taker of your town, and you will listen to me. And the girls are like, we gotta stop him. So they use Antidote X. Take the Antidote X to, stop them and stop Mojo and turn back normal. And they're like, now we'll take it. And they're like, and Professor's like, what are you talking about? and she's like, and Blossom's like, we'll take the Angel X now so we can get rid of our power, so we can't cause more destruction. And Mayor's like, you don't have to do that. We want you to save our city from Townsville's baddies, like Mojo over there. And even Talking John's like, Roof, you guys are cool. And they're like, hey, can we do it, Professor? And they're like, not before bed, just not before bedtime. And then their narrator says, sugar, spice, and everything nice. That was to create the perfect little girl. And then Professor telling me create accidentally went chemical X into the concoction. Chemical X. And Blossom Bird and Blossom Bubbles and Buttercup were born using their great powers they have to dedicate their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil. And yeah, they even stopped, like the gang Green Gang, and yeah, and that's basically the movie. How does this movie hold it up? I really thought this movie was really great. It showed the Powerpuff Girls' origins. It showed, like how they became the way they are. They took Tag and destroyed their entire school, which I didn't mention. That was a water scene, and where everyone disliked them. Then they liked them and told them to save their city. But I really enjoyed this movie. It was a great movie. It's not bad. It's a good movie. Kirk Kraken did a very good job directing. He probably wasn't the writer, but he probably directed because he wrote the original. He wrote the movie. He wrote the first 4 seasons, which I'll be reviewing the first 4 seasons because I heard the second. I might review Custody Battle because that episode, but either way, like, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time for the Powerpuff Girls series from 1998. We'll just see how this series holds up. The movie was really great, but we have to see for the big one, the series. Also, yeah, this movie's great. I don't know what people are talking about. This movie's great. Still reference guy. Reference man, away!